the 8th overall pick of the draft, Al Bethea. 2 tackles he was involved in, 2. He was MIA. It is far too early in the season to really start worrying about how rookies are performing, but currently we are worrying about how rookies are performing. Right now, we're not getting everything we need out of them. Right now, Langford Dawson is not giving us what we expected from him, especially not with his abilities, and Tremaine Scott, who perfectly fits this franchise, having been taken late in the, I think, 5th round, being a projected 2nd rounder, you know, has had a chance and needs to continue showing us that. The receivers and everything like that, it's a new scheme, I get that. The new system may take a few games to get into, that's fair enough. But the defense, Al Bethea right now is the biggest disappointment in the country. The 8th overall pick, former Heisman Trophy winner, the highest rated player in the draft, and he is not playing up to that potential whatsoever. Not at all. Not to the point where we're thinking about using Rivers instead, but he really needs to start stepping up, and pretty quickly. Scruggs is okay, but, you know, we like our players to be standouts. If they're not standouts as rookies, we kind of feel like they're not good enough, and that's not fair. We hold them to a high standard, but that's basically how it goes, because all of these guys are scrapping and fighting for places, and these guys have been chosen, you know, specifically, and they should be doing well. We've got some contracts to negotiate. Now, Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie, maybe we'll touch his, but say Sean Weatherspoon's come up, we won't be trying to give him an extra year. We'll be assuming that he retires with us at the end of the season. Also got players to scout, but I don't want to touch any of that before we've played this game, because I believe in this game we could turn it around. Now, can we get a win? I don't know, because it's away from home. It's against the Seahawks, and they're 2-0 and we're 0-2, but we can certainly show a lot in this game, and then we'll also start knowing where we're scouting. Because right now, Al Bethea, we are scouting the safety position. Okay, that's slightly over-exaggerated, that's for certain, but let's take a look at the Seahawks, see if they've got any new additions we need to be wary of. So the Seahawks drafted Tremonde Neal, a guy we were looking at, and he's okay. He's not super fast, but he's a pretty good receiver at 77 overall. They also have J.J. Nelson, who is a super fast receiver. Tyler Lockett, not slow either, so we're going to have to do our best to keep up with those guys. But we take a look at their offensive line, and it is weak. Considering Greg Robinson is a backup at left tackle, you know it's weak. Derek Newton is there at left tackle. And then we've got, you know, 2 guys that we know in left guard and center, but then the right guard, Tom Compton, is bad, and Jermaine Ifedi is bad as well. Surprisingly low rated, as a matter of fact. But then they obviously are strong here with Frank Clark, Dion Jordan, 2 not bad players, a returning fire-sale franchise player in Dion Jordan. And then not much to worry about on this team, apart from obviously the linebackers that we know, and Earl Thomas is back healthy and apparently happy to be on the team, and Cam Chancellor never had a problem with injury and is here playing. So it's not going to be an easy game, but it's going to get easier as we know what we do well now. We know that Zach Miller is a very, very good player on this team, and we know that we need to get the running game sorted, and Al Bethea knows that the whole world is watching him and every play, so he needs to start making plays soon. But let's all take it one play at a time, and we start with the Seahawks, one game at a time, one play at a time, one breath at a time. Let's take it slow. These guys are rookies. We don't need them to suddenly be world beaters right now. We just need them to show promise. This is our first divisional game, and this is the true test for these new players, because it will be these games that we'll be playing 2 times a year, every single year. And right outside of the stadium, that of course will be roaring at this point, and Nelson does absolutely nothing there. An ex-Cardinals receiver may be doing us a favor. 2nd and 11. Wilson scurrying around in the pocket, then decides to set his feet and throws downfield to Wilson for the completion. He takes a big hit, but he holds on. 3rd and 13. Wilson completes there, short, but a big tackle by Ronnie Harrison, who's made 2 big hits already in this game. 2nd and 10. Rosen is sacked by Frank Clark, a danger man for them. 3rd and 20. Rosen rolling out to the right, then throwing it downfield to Kirk, who holds onto it for a big reception, getting us the first down. 2nd and 9. Rosen passing a lot in this game, going to Zach Miller, his new favorite target. 3rd and 6, he sets up. Now Rosen looking for Henderson. The completion isn't there. The first down isn't there. And we go for a kick on 4th and 6, and it is short. Not long enough. Searles, the kicker, still having a nightmare as a rookie. We're sticking with him for now, but we're not afraid to Zimmer him, so he may be gone. On that run play, Anthony doing a good job of getting over and stopping it, and we get the ball back, 1st and 10, and CJ Procise running against his former team here and being tackled after getting the first down. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line, and a completion to Henderson, who's been already a little more active in this game than he usually has been, especially this season. And there, Tremaine Scott picking up the first down with a run. We give the ball to Langford Dawson, who had a nightmare last week with 3 or 4 fumbles. 3rd and 8, and Rosen is sacked, and that will end this drive. But we pin him at the 3-yard line. Unfortunately, Chris Carson with the big run takes it all the way to the 30-yard line. So no advantage there for us pinning them that far back. 1st and 10, however, Wilson is sacked by Atawachu, taking him down, stepping in for Odigizua, who was injured. 2nd and 18, and it takes a whole gang to bring down this running back. Robert Kimdichie jumping on the back, sets up 3rd and 11 for Wilson, who throws it downfield over the head of Anthony, perfectly placed to Jermaine Gresham, the tight end. 2nd and 3, and it's a wide open Baldwin. Somehow Patrick Peterson lost him. Maybe he had a flat, gave him up, nobody covered him, and they go in for a touchdown. So the ball back to Dawson, looking to do some damage in this game to make up for the last one. 3rd and 3, and it's a completion to Henderson, really being used in this game early on. 2nd and 6 for Rosen. He's got plenty of time in the pocket. He goes to his receiver, and that will be a defensive pass interference. We give the ball to Dawson at the 1-yard line, and he's in for the touchdown. And we use that pass interference call to good effect, getting a touchdown on the very next play. A sack by Shaquem Griffin, playing against his former team, who really didn't have anything against him. We traded for him. We wanted him on this team. And they get the first down there. It's Jermaine Gresham, but 3rd and 3 after they punted away, and we get the ball, and Tremaine Scott finding some space there. Had an opportunity for a big play, but not a bad one there, getting the first down either. On 3rd and 10, that's a big play to Devin Cajuste on the corner route, getting all the way down inside the 15. And now on 2nd and 4, looking for Cajuste again, and he'll go into the end zone, finish off that drive, as we do have an injury there to our left tackle, and we don't get the extra point either. It is a blocked kick. Really not a great start right now for our kicker, but we believe in him. He's got ability, and maybe he'll turn it around. And right now we can afford to take the risk, because it's not just kicking losing us games. It's things like this. Big plays downfield. Ronnie Harrison letting that one go. Patrick Peterson finally making the tackle. And then on 1st and goal, they just hand off to Penny. He's straight into the end zone for the touchdown. And they'll just actually not equal the game. They will take the lead 14-13. Henderson involved again, and he is injured on that play. He's obviously stepping in for Larry Fitzgerald after his retirement, as Christian Kirk takes Fitzgerald's spot, so he's technically stepping in for Kirk. 3rd and 13 for our offense here, and it's a pass downfield that never gets to the intended receiver, Devin Cajuste. Zach Miller injured at this point, which explains the increased targets for him. Gresham, the intended target on that one, and it's a completion for a big first down. 1st and 10, Wilson rolling to the right. Shaquem Griffin going to try and get him, and he forces him to make that pass, which goes to the intended receiver, Gresham, again, our ex-player, inside the 10-yard line. 3rd and goal. We've held them for now. Russell Wilson looking to pass, throws it away, and we hold them to a field goal. The score, 13-17. Dawson, big run downfield, and we're looking to take the lead. We're in the 4th quarter now. Dawson getting stopped short of the first down there. We've been running well so far. Tremaine Scott taking over here with a big run. Both running backs doing well. Tremaine Scott looking like he may get 100 yards in this game. 2nd and 4, Rosen rolling out, looking to set again, but he is sacked. There was nobody open for him. 3rd and 10 from the 28-yard line, and he goes over the middle. Vernon Davis, the forgotten veteran on the team, and on 2nd and goal, Langford Dawson getting another chance at a short punch in, and he gets it. Both times untouched. 2 touchdowns in this game. So one running back on pace for 100 yards, the other one has got 2 touchdowns, and Russell Wilson is brought down there, and that will help us a lot, setting up this 3rd and 11. We already have the lead, but unfortunately that kind of coverage will not help us as JJ Nelson gets the first down. 2nd and 3, another completion again, Tyler Lockett this time. 1st and 10, Bethea coming in with the sack. He's not done anything in this game so far, but comes in with a big play there. And that time as well, he was there but didn't get the sack. 3rd and 26 now. Russell Wilson rolling to the left, looking to throw, does throw, completes to Nelson for the first down. 1st and 10. Wilson back to pass, under some pressure, completes. No, he doesn't, as Al Bethea comes in and forces that incompletion on Doug Baldwin, and they settle for a field goal. So Bethea making plays, and now Christian Kirk fumbling the ball, turning the ball over. 48 seconds left in this game. The Seahawks have the ball, but a huge sack coming in from Shaquem Griffin. Alberthay coming down, making that stop. They're out of field goal range. They had to punt to us, and now we're in overtime. Langford Dawson starting it off. Langford Dawson inside the 40-yard line with a huge rush. Both running backs now looking to get over 100 yards, and Tremaine Scott with this run will do exactly that. We've got 200-yard rushes on the day. Tremaine Scott to the 6-yard line. First and goal, Langford Dawson looking to get in, stopped at the 3-yard line. Again, Dawson looking to get in on this one, stopped just shy at the 1. Langford Dawson, one more chance on third and goal, punches it in, 26-20. We win the game. In many ways, we're not where we want to be yet because we don't want to be winning games by such narrow score lines, but at the same time, this is exactly the team we want to be, and we'll see that when we take a look at the stats. Now, Rosen didn't do too well today, didn't do too badly today. 158 yards, 73% completion percentage, a passing touchdown, clean bill on the interceptions. Not bad. Rushing though, this is where we want to be. 24 attempts for Langford Dawson, 102 yards, that's 4.2 yards per carry. Tremaine Scott had 15 attempts, 114 yards, 7.6 yards per carry. CJ Precise also had 1 for 12, but these two guys combined for 116 yards rushing, combined for 3 touchdowns, but Langford Dawson had every single one of those. And now Dawson, for a very long time in that game, wasn't getting anything, but he exploded when he needed to. We talk about Christian Kirk not being clutch. He has cuffed the ball up in key situations on multiple occasions. Langford Dawson gets into a key situation after not getting a lot of success on the ground all day and explodes for, 50, 60 yards downfield and sets up the one drive that wins us the game. Now, receiving, that's where we have some problems because Carlos Henderson is injured. Christian Kirk has proven that he cannot hold on to the ball, especially not in key situations, and, well, Zach Miller got injured as well, and there was not much from everybody else. Vontae Davis had one nice clutch catch and for a first down, 21 yards. That was pretty good. Let's take a look at the defense. Ronnie Harrison. What Alberthay is not doing, Ronnie Harrison is, so that's not too much of a problem there right now. But he's, he had some good plays, especially later on in that game. He came up as well and made some plays when he needed to. But Ronnie Harrison is the one right now making those plays. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who makes them as long as somebody does. And as long as Alberthay stops, missing some tackles because he's trying to make big plays right now, we'll be fine. Shaquem Griffin had 3 sacks today. Alberthay had 1, Jeremy Atawachu had 1, and Ronnie Harrison had 1 as well as we started blitzing those safeties, try and catch them off guard, and we did. No interceptions, unfortunately, no forced fumbles, unfortunately. We do need to work on turnovers, and it was not a busy day for Sean Witherspoon, which is a bit of a shame, but he has really, gotten a little bit worse because of the age and stuff, which isn't fair because he played very well last season. But we played well. This is exactly the kind of team we want to be. We want to be able to run people into the ground, and that's what we did in overtime. So after this game, this is the only part we care about, this one new injury. And I don't know who I'd want it to be more because some important people were injured. Obviously, I don't want it to be anybody. It's Harris Schlegel who's injured for 4 weeks. Now, of course, that's only 3 games he'll miss. Only is not good. That's our young star left tackle who's not been bad whatsoever, but he's injured now. 78 overall, he really is good, and we'll be missing him, that's for certain. Now, I don't even know who stepped in for him. Probably one of the undrafted free agents we picked up. Now, it's going to be Will Holden, but we'll take a look to see if there's anybody better for that position. I doubt it, though. Andre Smith could probably come back to his old position of left tackle as well and do a job there. We'll see who's best for that spot. And after that game, I know exactly where we want to be looking positions-wise. Theoretically, before that, I may have been looking at safeties and running backs. Now, obviously, that's not going to be the case. But I know I want a better offensive line and I want a better defensive line. I think that's what this draft is going to be. We've got to get ourselves some support there in the trenches on both sides, and that's what we'll be scouting first. Defensive line, then offensive line. So that's right end finished pretty quickly, and I think the only person here that is any kind of good is Clinton Norris, the first round prospect. And then, more importantly, none of these guys are even scheme fits for us. So we'll move on to left end, where at least there's some scheme fits and not much going on either, though. And I say not much going on because there weren't a lot of first rounders, and I was right, as there's not really much going on here whatsoever. We'll take a look at Lewis Turbin, a speed rusher. We'll spend 10 points to look at his next one. I don't think he'll be that good. Maybe not a good year for defensive ends. So here we are in week 4. The San Francisco 49ers will be coming to visit us, another divisional game, and that will be followed by another divisional game at home by the Seahawks, who we just played against and we just beat. But now, of course, we know what we've got here in Langford Dawson. I've got to say, I'm a little bit disappointed that he didn't get Player of the Week. I really thought if you get over 100 yards and 3 touchdowns, it might be good enough. But Offensive Player of the Week is the quarterback's position. You take a look, and it's all quarterbacks every single week. And it was Aaron Rodgers who took it this time with 3 passing touchdowns and 306 yards, which really... I mean, we had 3 rushing touchdowns and 100 yards. That's, I would argue, more impressive. So this is the 49ers team we'll be facing. Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback. The running back, Jerick McKinnon, who was never injured last year and we had problems against anyway. The wide receivers, Marquise Goodwin with his ridiculous speed. Pierre Garçon, who's still good. Dante Pettis. They're a good group and nothing much has changed. Now here is something we could take advantage of. The middle linebacker is Realus Armour, a rookie out of Florida State, 72 overall, and that's, not too bad. But they also are playing Will Fladdle, another rookie, 79 rated, pretty good. 2 rookies there, that's an inexperienced group to have in a position that's so important, but of course the other outside linebacker is Reuben Foster, who could cause us a lot of problems. And then the cornerbacks, Richard Sherman will be looking to lock down our best receiver, but it'll give some space to our other receivers to work against some not so great guys here. And Richard Sherman, the speed isn't great, but his coverage is, and so he won't give up much to anybody. And the safeties, not great, but not too bad, so we've got to be careful there as well. But I think we've got some opportunities. The run game will be a little bit tough, but against those rookie linebackers, maybe we can fool them a little bit with a few things and hopefully take advantage of it. Taking advantage of rookie linebackers means one thing. It means the run game needs to be good, which means we can then run reverses, counters, whatever, stuff like that, and play action will feast on vulnerable rookies. Maybe they're good, maybe they'll take care of anything we throw at them, but obviously that's the first thing we think about, is taking advantage of those inexperienced players. The last game against a divisional rival showed promise. We have another game against a divisional rival, this time at home. Can we keep that promise and can we take it even a step further? 1st and 10, Langford Dawson, the hero of the last game with the touchdown and the big run, starts with a modest run on this attempt. 3rd and 5, we go play action. And it's a short completion to Miller. Miller looking to get that first down, loses the ball, it goes out of bounds, unfortunately. The fumble will take us back just shy of the first down, and the 49ers get the ball, but on 3rd and 13, Garoppolo in some trouble and is sacked by Shaquem Griffin, who cannot stop getting sacks at the moment. 3rd and 11, and it's a completion to Miller, who then gets pushed short of the first down, and on 4th and 2, we decide to go for it. Josh Rosen looking for his receiver, and he goes straight through his hands. He was there, he was open. He didn't catch the ball. 1st and 10, Garoppolo in trouble, and he is taken down by Jeremiah Ataochu, stepping up for Odigizua. 2nd and 23, and it's a completion there to Pierre Garçon, who gets out of the first attempt to tackle, and finally he's taken down by 2 linebackers. 3rd and 8, and now at the 14-yard line, Garoppolo looking for his receiver, only finds Ronnie Harrison, who is tackled at the 9-yard line. Ronnie Harrison right now playing at a Pro Bowl level. Alberthay stepped up last week, but we're still waiting for him. But Ronnie Harrison right now is playing good enough for 2 safeties. 3rd and 9, and it's a completion to Christian Kirk for the first down. It was a tricky one, but he forced it in there. 1st and 10 to Langford Dawson, getting out of some contact. Langford Dawson running, stopped just short of the first down on 1st and 10. 2nd and 12 now, completion over the middle to Zach Miller, the ever dependable at this stage in the season already. And a 2nd and 5, and it's a completion to Antonio Callaway. And 3rd and 9 now, but it's no problem for Josh Rosen, who completes again to Callaway, who's coming in for Henderson at the moment. 3rd and goal, and Dawson is stopped short. Unfortunately, we'll have to settle for a field goal on that drive, but it's a scoring drive, and we'll take it considering how our season has started. 1st and 10, and it's a completion to Rodgers downfield. 1st and 10 again from the 48-yard line now, and Rodgers getting out of the first attempt to tackle. Rodgers Cromartie coming in to stop him finally. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. That run going absolutely nowhere. Alberthay snuffed that one out, stuffed it before it went anywhere. 2nd and 12, and Peterson in coverage on Goodwin, but he just gives up on the ball, it seems like, and Goodwin is able to catch it uncontested. 38-yard touchdown, and we're down by 4 points, but Langford Dawson finding some space on that run. Rushing game looking strong now. 2nd and 11, and it's a completion to Fowler over the middle, and this is exactly what we envisioned when we hired Zach Taylor as our offensive coordinator. Rosen throwing an interception there, though, to Sherman. That is not what we envisioned, and the 49ers lose the ball. Ronnie Harrison forced it out. Ronnie Harrison recovers it, Ronnie Harrison is not just playing at a Pro Bowl level, you could argue he's playing at an All-Pro level right now. An interception, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, and a sack all in the first half. And on 1st and 10 with 11 seconds left, looking to push it downfield, Rosen throws an interception to Tart, but it's okay. No points lost on that turnover as we go into the second half here, and Garoppolo is sacked to begin this one. 3rd and 12. He's got plenty of time here in the pocket, but no open receivers. Finally completes it short to Goodwin, who gets out of the first contact, and Rogers Cromartie able to push him out of bounds. So they punt the ball to us, and Dawson finding some space again. You see how elusive he is when he just flies past people that could attempt to make arm tackles, and here he goes again, picking up another first down. And on 3rd and 3, we're giving it to Scott. Tremaine Scott with the carry for the first down. 2nd and 10. Rosen is looking to pass, but he's under some pressure and he loses the ball, and it's recovered by the 49ers. If we've got one complaint about Josh Rosen, it's the fact he loses the ball a little too often when he is sacked. 2nd and 4, we stop the run, and it sets up this 3rd and 6, which they complete, but it's short of the first down. Ronnie Harrison was there. 3rd and 1, Tremaine Scott with the first down run. Could have been a little bit more if he was a little bit faster. 1st and 10, Dawson getting the ball. He's a little bit faster and he gets a little bit more to the 44-yard line. 2nd and 8, and it's a completion to Miller. He's just forcing it into him at this point because he's catching everything. 1st and 10, we go for a screenplay, which went terribly, but Tremaine Scott really makes up for it. Turns what could have been a big loss into a pretty decent gain. 3rd and 6 it sets up, which Miller easily converts with that catch. We're down 4 right now. 8 minutes left in this game, and Christian Kirk fumbles the ball, which the 49ers recover. No, he doesn't. It's okay. It was overturned. This one time, Christian Kirk didn't actually fumble the ball. Tremaine Scott running, and then we give it to Dawson, who had a chance to knife it in, but doesn't get it, and we had to settle for a field goal. It's a bit of a risk there, taking the field goal. The score is 7-6, but we believe in this defense, which has been playing well, and on 3rd and 13, they are stopped. It's Ronnie Harrison on the tackle, giving this offense the ball. 3rd and 3. Rosen putting it up for Carlos Henderson, who makes the catch. A man misses him. Carlos Henderson now in a foot race at the 20, at the 10. He'll be in for the touchdown. Carlos Henderson with potentially the game-winning touchdown. We go for the 2-point conversion with Dawson. He punches that one in, and now the game is 14-7. Can the defense stay strong here? They complete to McKinnon for the first down. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line, and there is the interception we needed. It's Perry Nickerson picking it off. Perry Nickerson coming in as a dime back and plays perfect coverage, just comes under that route, picks it off, and pretty much wins us the game here. If we can get a first down, we can run the clock out, and it will be Langford Dawson who is asked to do that as he breaks through some contract, cuts upfield, gets the first down. It's over. We've won our 2nd game of the season. I think we found an identity today, and it starts with strong defense. That's what we already had last year, and now the offense isn't exactly what we wanted. We wanted high firepower, just complete elimination of opponents through offense, and that's not happening. However, it is functional, it moves the ball, and it gets it done now that we've kind of figured it out a little bit, and it starts with the ground game, which again today was good. Not as good as last week, but good. Josh Rosen, a little bit different to last week as well. 231 yards, 2 interceptions thrown today, 1 touchdown. Then Langford Dawson, back over 100 yards again, 4.4 yards per carry. He's starting to find his rhythm now. 24 carries, exactly 50% of that went to Tremaine Scott, who got 50 yards with those opportunities. So both of them doing well. In the last 2 weeks, our rookie running backs have gone over 350 yards together. That's not bad. Then receiving, we already knew about Zach Miller and the fact he got to play this whole game. He featured heavily. Christian Kirk almost made me lose confidence, almost fumbling, but it wasn't a fumble, so we can't even blame him. And then Carlos Henderson with just one big play to win us the game, basically, so no biggie on that one. And then defensively, Ronnie Harrison's still doing everything. 9 tackles. Rashawn Scruggs behind him with 7. But the sacks weren't there too heavily today. Ronnie Harrison had 1, Jeremiah Atawachu 1 as well, and Shaquem Griffin with 1. The interceptions, however, Ronnie Harrison with 1, Perry Nickerson with 1. We had exactly this happen late last season. He got some chances, and this is what he did with them. And this is really his first chance this season. We're going to make Perry Nickerson our slot cornerback. So Fabian Moreau makes no mistakes, but Perry Nickerson makes plays, and that's why we want him. So he's going to be our slot cornerback. I don't think we got any... not to pass deflections. We did get a false fumble. Ronnie Harrison knocked it out and recovered it himself, and I remember exactly that happening now. So that is it. We can be happy with how we've played in the last 2 weeks. We've played very, very well. And that is it. At the end of that one, we are 2-2. We got back from an 0-2 hole, and we did it with 2 back-to-back wins. And with only one player disappointing us now, Alberthay, the #1 pick from us, the 8th overall pick, still not living up to that whatsoever. But Ronnie Harrison is doing plenty at the safety position, so as long as he keeps doing stuff, we won't really notice that Buffet's not doing anything. But he needs to start stepping up, and I don't know why he's struggling. He's just not making plays. I don't know. Maybe we need to switch positions, but Ronnie Harrison's too good at strong safety for that to make any sense. Well, anyway, next week we got a home game against the Seahawks, who will be looking for a little bit of redemption after a surprise victory from us on the first game away from home, and then we travel to Tampa Bay to face the Buccaneers. Some more possible wins in there, but you know, we're gonna have to get better. We'll be scouting some players to make sure that we're even better next year, but right now things are back on track.